Jodi Arias, the box blonde enigma wrapped in a dirty little secret, and Travis Alexander, her pawn in death. The murder of Travis Alexander by his ex-girlfriend Jodi Arias in 2008 monopolized headlines and sensationalized courtroom TV. Years after her conviction, this incredibly strange case still holds the attention of the masses. Today, we'll review 3 wildly weird and possibly unknown things about the Jodi Anne Arias case that even some of the most devout true crimers were not aware of, or have maybe forgotten. But man, are they weird. Please let us know you're interested in seeing more content like this by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Now, let's dive into 3 wildly weird and possibly unknown things about the Jodi Arias case. Number 1. The smoking cannon. Let's face it, the grisly crime scene she left behind after the brutal slaying of Travis Alexander in his Mesa, Arizona home didn't match Jodi's doe-eyed, petite, feminine exterior, and Jodi was banking on this illusion. Had she not left a Canon camera in the washing machine, failing to thwart efforts to retrieve deleted incriminating images from the memory card, investigators may not have been able to make a conviction on mostly circumstantial evidence. Okay, so most people already know about the camera, right? Well, here's the weird part, and more reason why Jodi Arias is without a doubt one of the most sociopathic pathological liars we've ever been able to study. I was well aware of Jodi's unwavering denial in the face of compelling evidence, but it wasn't until I read through the interrogation transcripts that I was struck by her explanation to why recovered images from the Canon memory card placed her at the scene of the crime on the date of the crime. And I quote Jodi Arias to Detective Flores, "Oh, I have a camera and it's in my storage unit that I don't use anymore, but Travis and I used to use frequently, and we took pictures with it. We took tons and tons of pictures. Some I saved and most we deleted. Well, prior to him getting his camera, all of those pictures were on my camera. Is it possible that, that my memory card would have been in his camera, if they're interchangeable? I had several memory cards from this camera that I don't have anymore. If my memory cards were left at his house, he would have used those for his camera." End quote. Of course, Detective Flores wasn't buying it, and plainly tells her so as he asks her incredulously, "You're saying somebody took your pictures or your card and is framing you and put that into his camera?" And that's why Jodi Arias' memory card explanation, lie, makes this list of wildly weird and possibly unknown things from the Jodi Arias case. Number 2, the third gas can. Jodi's borrowed gas cans were exposed early on in the investigation, but in typical Jodi fashion, she had an explanation for borrowing 2 gas cans from an ex-boyfriend before she headed cross-country on a long trip from California to Utah. To save money, of course. Because some gas stations price their petroleum at a premium, Jodi claimed as an avid traveler, she just wanted to frugally choose where she purchased her fuel. Jodi played the struggling professional throughout the investigation and trial, so it's no wonder she would attempt to use her financials for sympathy. But the gas cans bothered investigators, and particularly bothered prosecutor Juan Martinez. As Jodi maintained her innocence and continued to tell all who would listen that her road trip took her nowhere near Mesa, that she did not drive through Mesa, and had not stopped to see Travis Alexander in Mesa, Juan Martinez was busy obtaining a warrant for receipts from Jodi's drive. Let's not forget that Jodi's phone was conveniently turned off for much of her drive time, and she had removed the front license plate and reattached the back license plate upside down on the rental car she used for said road trip. So back to Gas Can Gate. Investigators and prosecutors found it interesting that despite Arias' claim to simply being a fiscally responsible traveler, the borrowed gas cans would have saved her mere cents. and their cumbersome weight and dangerous maneuverability would have been better reasons for her not to bother with them. They also had the keen suspicion that going out of her way to borrow a couple gas cans was solely so Jodi could drive through Mesa undetected and do what she's been convicted of. But when some simple math proved that the 2 gas cans would not have held enough fuel to ensure Jodi would not have to fill up in or near the crime scene, Jodi's road trip receipts pivoted the investigation greatly and gave Juan Martinez the ammunition he believed he needed to chip away at reasonable doubt. It turns out Jodi purchased a 3rd gas can from a Walmart in Salinas, California, before entering the great state of Arizona. The additional fuel container, investigators deduced, allowed Arias the anonymity she needed to sneak into Arizona and leave with the life of Travis Alexander. On this list of wildly weird and possibly unknown things in the Jodi Arias case, the 3rd gas can is definitely a brow-bending bullet point. Number 3. The Bob White letters. If you followed the Jodi Arias trial, you know that Jodi was pretty much alone in her campaign to smear Travis Alexander's reputation. While witness after witness attested to Travis's benign nature and upbeat personality, taking the stand herself, Jodi made disturbing and shocking allegations against the Mormon motivational speaker, having to do with his inclinations to violence, his sexuality, and his sexual preferences. While I don't think I can go into detail, Jodi's word-for-word accusations are public record, so I'll leave it to you to do a little digging if you'd like. I do want to mention the Bob White letters, a compilation of handwritten, albeit photocopied and not original, correspondence allegedly from Travis Alexander to Jodi Arias, but widely thought to be forged by Jodi Arias from jail. In the letters, the author sheepishly admits to having homosexual tendencies as well as urges involving himself and children. Handwriting experts from both sides analyzed the writings, coming to contrasting conclusions, each which supported the respective side. So the prosecution said the handwriting was not a match, while the defense upheld their expert findings that Travis Alexander wrote the letters. The letters were supposed to support the defense, but ultimately were not admissible. The prosecution claimed to have found paper products, 3x5 index cards, in Arias's jail cell, which resembled the same writing vessels found in Travis's home office, which Travis had been known to create daily to-do lists on. Furthermore, the prosecution claimed one of the 3x5 cards found in Arias's jail cell had disparaging and implicating phrases handwritten by Jodi herself, in what they called handwriting practice sessions from Jodi for the letters. Although these letters, which to this day evoke opposing views from Travis versus Jodi supporters and did not see the inside of the courtroom, the Bob White letters take their place as the 3rd wildly weird and possibly unknown thing about the Jodi Arias case. The legacy of Travis Alexander and the tragic circumstances of his death have left an indelible mark on the true crime landscape. The case continues to spark discussions about domestic violence, mental health, and the blurred lines between truth and manipulation. It serves as a reminder that even the most seemingly idyllic relationships can hide dark and dangerous secrets. As we reflect on this tragic event, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the complexities of human relationships and the consequences of unchecked emotions. I want to thank you for watching this video. Subscribing to this channel is your way of letting me know you'd like more content, so please don't skip that part. And as they say, smash that like and subscribe button.